Hey guys, what's going on? It's your boy Keaton Talk Sports here, back with another video. As always, do me a favor, like, comment, subscribe. Link is in the box below. Really helps out the channel a lot. NFL Mock Draft 4.0. I'm going to give you guys my overall analysis on why I think each player fits in with these particular organizations here. So let's not waste any more time. This is my NFL Mock Draft 4.0. With the first pick, the Chicago Bears will be selecting quarterback Caleb Williams out of USC. Not much to say about this. Justin Fields was traded to the Pittsburgh Steelers, so that pretty much puts the competition for quarterback to bed. Caleb Williams is your number one quarterback in Chicago. Not much to say. I'm not going to continue to go on and on about this. He is your number one quarterback for the Chicago Bears here. With the second pick, the Washington Commanders will be selecting Drake May, quarterback out of North Carolina. Like I said, another one of those picks where Caleb Williams is going to be your number one, Drake May is going to be your number two. I think he fits in perfectly with the Washington Commanders and what they want to do. You got a guy like Cliff Kingsbury who's there now, who's running the show. I think Drake May will come in there, and he's going to be the quarterback for the future. We don't know if he's going to be starting or not. Obviously, they have guys like Austin Eckler, who they bought in free agency, Bobby Wagner, Marcus Mariota. Who knows if he'll be a starter or if he's going to back up Drake May. I assume Drake May will be the starter there for the Commanders as they start their rebuild process. With the third overall pick, the New England Patriots will be selecting quarterback Jaden Daniels out of LSU. Not much to discuss. The Patriots desperately need a quarterback here. They did sign a quarterback like Jacoby Brissett, who could be a great mentor for Jaden Daniels. But the Patriots are going to go quarterback here. I mean, there's no ifs or buts about it. Now, there are rumors about them trading back to Minnesota to get the 11th pick, the 23rd overall pick, and the next year's first round pick. You could go there because there's more problems to the Patriots than just to cover the quarterback. But at the end of the day, you're the New England Patriots. You have to hit on this. You have to hit on the quarterback here. You cannot pass up on this opportunity. Next year's draft isn't guaranteed. It's not as strong as this year. So take your guy in Jaden Daniels and continue to build for the future here. Continue to surround him with receivers on the outside. Continue to surround Jaden Daniels on the offensive line. Let him use his skill set. We already know what Jaden Daniels can do with his legs. A little bit of concern with him passing in the middle of the field, which I think he can fix that. We have the right coaching staff here. It's just going to be a matter of can the New England Patriots surround him with talent, which I think they will, and stuff like that. So we'll see what happens. But Jaden Daniels here at pick 3, it just makes too much sense for the New England Patriots. With the 4th overall pick, the Arizona Cardinals will be selecting wide receiver Marvin Harrison Jr. out of Ohio State. Like I've been saying, I want Marvin Harrison here at Arizona. I think he will be in the best situation playing with Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray loves throwing to the sidelines, and Marvin Harrison definitely fits that description. He loves playing down the sidelines. He loves catching the deep ball. Kyler Murray, I think him and Kyler Murray are going to be one heck of a duo, and they're going to coexist together on the same team. They just got to continue to get the right pieces for that team defensively, and obviously here with the 4th pick with Marvin Harrison Jr. So I really love this pick for Marvin Harrison Jr. Obviously, like I said before, it's just a matter of which team he ends up on. I think this is the right situation for him at pick 4 here, in my opinion. With the 5th overall pick, the Los Angeles Chargers will be selecting wide receiver Rome Odunze out of Washington. I love this pick for the Chargers. Obviously, this gives Justin Herbert another deep threat down the field, something he hasn't had in his career so far. You can make an argument they could go offense tackle, maybe Joe Alt with this pick, but I think it's important to surround Justin Herbert with pieces to continue to or make him successful as a quarterback and make life easier for him when he has other people around him to make plays for him. So I think Rome Odunze fits the description for what the Chargers want to do. You have Jim Harbaugh there now, running the show now. You can make an argument too. They could bring in Malik Neighbors, but Rome Odunze is definitely up there. He has the size, he has the skill, he has the speed, all that stuff. So I think the Chargers, I don't think they go wrong with choosing Rome Odunze here at this pick. With the 6th overall pick, the New York Giants will be selecting wide receiver Malik Neighbors out of LSU. Like I said, just a pick ago. The Giants need a playmaker on the outside, something they haven't had in a very long time. You have Daniel Jones, who just signed a long-term contract last offseason. Surround him with pieces. Surround him with playmakers on the outside. Because if you don't, it's going to be a struggle bus for him and the team. Obviously, the Giants struggled miserably on offense last year. Now, you could also make an argument here that they could go offense tackle here at this pick as well, because they were atrocious last year in that area, ranked 30th in the whole NFL in offensive line. So, but at the end of the day, I still think they need a wide receiver here. I think it's the right move. I think Giants fans would agree with this. Malik Neighbors here at pick 6 for the New York Giants. With the 7th overall pick, the Tennessee Titans will be selecting offensive tackle Joe Alt out of Notre Dame. This pick makes a whole bunch of sense for the Titans. I think Will Levis being there at quarterback, you need someone like a Joe Alt who can keep Levis upright, who can keep him playing throughout the entire season, because he did take a lot of hits, especially towards the end of last year. So I think Joe Alt coming in here would be a tremendous pickup. Obviously, they got guys like Calvin Ridley, who they just picked up in free agency, Tony Pollard, all those guys. So if they continue to add pieces like Joe Alt, this Tennessee Titans team is heading in the right direction here. I think they will be a much more improved team in 2024 if they go with this pick at pick 7 with the Titans. With the 8th overall pick, the Atlanta Falcons will be selecting edge rusher Dallas Turner out of Alabama. Like I said before, you got your guy in Kirk Cousins, who you just signed in free agency to a 4-year deal. So that's the bed now. Now you can get one of the best, if not the best, edge rusher in this draft in Dallas Turner. He's very ferocious, very disruptive on that side, who makes life hell for opposing offenses. And like I said, just looking at him, I think he's an Atlanta Falcon. I think he has Atlanta Falcons written all over him, and they will be glad to have him at this pick. I think he makes that defense more scary and that much better on that side. With the 9th overall pick, the Chicago Bears will be selecting tight end Brock Bowers out of Georgia. I think this pick makes a whole bunch of sense. Like I said, you need to surround Caleb Williams as much talent as possible. I mean, Brock Bowers, he has the size. He's a deep threat down the field. He makes plays after the catch. Caleb Williams, knowing that he can use his legs to make plays, scrambling, all that stuff. He can find the open target down the field. And Brock Bowers, who has a size advantage over pretty much anybody, I think he can use that to his advantage there. But I like this pick for the Bears. Like I said, can't go wrong with this pick. You can make an argument they can go maybe Roman Dunze, because you did lose Daryl Mooney in free agency. Maybe you can add someone like a Roman Dunze, or even go offense tackle to protect Caleb Williams, a rookie quarterback. But Brock Bowers here, if he's there, I just don't see how you can pass up on a guy like this. He's obviously the best tight end in this draft here. So I like this pick for the Bears at pick 9. With the 10th overall pick, the New York Jets will be selecting offense tackle Troy Fautanu out of Washington. Like I've been saying in my previous mock drafts, you got to protect Aaron Rodgers at all costs. There's just no exception. There's no ifs or buts about it. I know Jets fans want Brock Bowers. I know they want Roman Dunze or whatever other wide receiver that they want. But at the end of the day, you got to prioritize your quarterback, because Aaron Rodgers doesn't have that much left. Doesn't have that much time left in his career. I mean, he has about maybe 2, maybe 3 years left. So you got to prioritize that, and you have to protect him at all costs. You saw what happened last year. First 4 plays, Aaron Rodgers sacked. He got hurt. He ended up missing the rest of the season because his offensive line couldn't protect and couldn't get it done when it mattered. So getting a guy like Troy Fautanu, who has experience, who's very ferocious on the offensive line, he can hold his own, and I think Aaron Rodgers would appreciate having him on his team, who can protect him to give him time to get the ball down the field. With the 11th pick, the Minnesota Vikings will be selecting cornerback Terrion Arnold out of Alabama. I like this pick for the Minnesota Vikings. Like I said, they're pretty much going into a rebuild here because they did lose Kirk Cousins. You currently have Sam Darnold, who is your quarterback, but I know the Vikings aren't going to settle with just Sam Darnold Sam Darnold being there as quarterback. I think Terrion Arnold makes that defense even better. He has the size. He's not scared of anyone. He gets up into the opposing receiver's face, makes things uncomfortable, and I think he just fits in for what the Vikings want to do on that side. So they just got to continue to build and build. Like I said, as they are, I don't know what direction they're trying to go in, but I think this pick makes sense for them, especially on the defensive side, as they did give up a lot of points, especially towards the end of the year. So I think he comes in there and makes them even that much more improved on that side. With the 12th overall pick, the Denver Broncos will be selecting quarterback J.J. McCarthy out of Michigan. Obviously, they don't have a quarterback here. Jared Stidham is currently on the roster, but like I've been saying, J.J. McCarthy has been linked to the Broncos for weeks and months, whatever you want to call it. Sean Payton is there as their at coach, and I think him and Sean Payton would work really well together. As the Broncos are starting over, obviously. Russell Wilson is not there no more, as that marriage between him and Sean Payton was just didn't work out there. So bringing a guy like J.J. McCarthy, who won a national championship with the Michigan Wolverines, I think he brings a level of improvement to that Broncos offense. They just got to continue to surround him on the offensive line, the receivers on the outside, all that stuff. So I think this pick makes sense for the Broncos. Like I said, as they don't have a quarterback here at pick 12. So you get your guy in J.J. McCarthy with this 12th overall pick. With the 13th overall pick, the Las Vegas Raiders will be selecting cornerback Quinyon Mitchell out of Toledo. I think this pick makes a lot of sense. I know Raiders fans, they just got their guy Gardner Minshew in free agency. But Quinyon Mitchell, he skyrocketed in a lot of people's draft boards. I mean, he was pretty much towards the bottom and towards the cornerback, at the beginning of my draft process. Now he's, like I said, he's went up a lot in a lot of people's draft boards. So I like this pick for the Raiders here, as, like I said, he has the size. He's got to put on a little bit more weight. That's what a lot of people are questioning. But this dude is very, very ferocious, very tenacity on that side. And like I said, he's not scared of anyone, and he gets into people's faces. Like I said, it's very physical, and he makes things uncomfortable for a lot of receivers. So watch out for this guy. I think he's going to be very, very successful at the next level, assuming if he goes to the Raiders here, which I think does improve their defense a lot if they go with him with this pick. With the 14th overall pick, the New Orleans Saints will be selecting edge rusher Jared Verse out of Florida State. I think this pick makes a bunch of sense. Like I said, you have a lot of those guys on the Saints defense who are getting older. They're not getting any younger. So why not bring a guy like Jared Verse, who is one of the best edge rushers in this draft, who I believe would improve this Saints defense a lot. He's a young player. He gets after it. He doesn't take plays off. I think he fits into what the Saints want to do. He just looks like a New Orleans Saint. Like I said, Saints, you could go offensive tackle here, but I think if Jared Verse is available with this pick here, I think the Saints have to take advantage of that. So Jared Verse to the Saints here at pick 14. I love this pick for that defense. With the 15th overall pick, the Indianapolis Colts will be selecting cornerback Cooper DeJean out of Iowa. I love this pick for the Indianapolis Colts. He's been linked to a lot of teams, the Colts, the Eagles. I know the Packers have been rumored to get him as well, as they need help on that side. But Cooper DeJean, like I said, to the Colts, I think he improves that secondary a lot. They were pretty decent last year, but I think adding a guy like him just takes that defense to another level and all that stuff. So I love this pick. Like I said, he's a very versatile player. He can play cornerback, he can play safety, he can play punt returner, whatever you want to call it. You saw his highlights. Just go back and watch his highlights. He can pretty much do it all on, at either of those positions. So very versatile. I think the Colts would love him with this pick. I think he fits in Indy very well here. So I love this pick for the Colts at pick 15. With the 16th overall pick, the Seattle Seahawks will be selecting offense tackle Olu Fashanu out of Penn State. Like I've been saying all along, the Seahawks need help, especially in the trenches at the offensive line. I know uh, uh, they just need help here with this offensive line here. So Olufashanu, like I said before, very physical, very just he can hold his own on the offensive line. And like I said, the Seahawks need help in the trenches. If you want to be able to run the ball effectively, efficiently, all that stuff, you got to get a guy like Olufashanu who can hold his own, who can create space for running backs to go up the hole and do their thing there. So I love this pick for the Seattle Seahawks. Like I said, Olufashanu is falling in some people's drafts and stuff like that. So if he's available here, I don't see why the Seahawks don't take him at this pick. So I like this pick for the Seattle Seahawks at pick 16. Pick 17, the Jacksonville Jaguars will be selecting wide receiver Brian Thomas Jr. out of LSU. Like I've been saying before, you just lost Calvin Ridley to free agency to the Tennessee Titans, so why not address this position if you're the Jacksonville Jaguars? I know you need help on defense. There's links to them going cornerback at this pick, but if Brian Thomas Jr. is available here, which I believe he will be in the top 20. I know some people have him linked to the Buffalo Bills. I just don't see him falling that far down. I think he'll go in the top 20 here. I think the Jacksonville Jaguars is a perfect situation for him. I think it's a perfect fit. And it gives Trevor Lawrence another target to throw the ball down the field and to rely upon late in games. So I think he fits in here well with the Jacksonville Jaguars at pick 17. Pick 18 here, the Cincinnati Bengals will be selecting offense tackle Talise Fuaga out of Oregon State. Like I said about Aaron Rodgers, you have Joe Burrow, who's your franchise quarterback. You got to protect him at all costs. Talise Fuaga is very physical, he gets after it. Like I said, another player that doesn't take plays off. He finishes plays to the whistle blows and all that stuff. I think he fits in really, really well in the AFC North, given his size and experience. I think Joe Burrow would really appreciate having him on his team, as they need to protect and prioritize the quarterback. As like I said, he's your franchise quarterback. If the Bengals want to get to the Super Bowl here next year, which I believe they can, if they stay healthy, you gotta protect. It starts in the trenches. You gotta be able to protect your quarterback. I think this pick makes a bunch of sense for the Cincinnati Bengals at pick 18 here. So I like this pick for them. With the 19th pick, the Los Angeles Rams will be selecting defensive tackle Byron Murphy II out of Texas. One of those situations where Aaron Donald just retired, right? So if you're the Los Angeles Rams, you have to address this position. Byron Murphy II had a great year at Texas. He's one of the best, if not the best defensive tackle in this draft. You have to address this position. I believe he fits in well with the Rams. He's physical. He gets after the quarterback, very efficient at getting to the quarterback, doesn't take plays off, all that stuff. I think he will keep the Rams defense competitive, as they need help on that side. They were ranked dead last in pass rush. So why not address this if you're the Rams? I think this makes perfect sense for them. Byron Murphy II to Los Angeles Rams at pick 19. With the 20th pick, the Pittsburgh Steelers will be selecting center Jackson Powers Johnson out of Oregon. This is one of those situations where he fits in really, really well with the Steelers here. I mean, like I've been saying, they need help in the interior of the offensive line. Jackson Powers Johnson, I think he fits in well in the AFC North. He has the size, very physical. He's at the right spots at the right time. The Pittsburgh Steelers have had a great offseason so far. Like I've been saying, they just got to continue to build the offensive line. You have Russell Wilson there as your quarterback now. You have Justin Fields, who's there as a backup. Okay. You got Patrick Queen there now and all that stuff. So Pittsburgh has had a solid offseason. So why not get a guy like Jackson Powers Johnson, who I believe fits in tremendously well with the Pittsburgh Steelers at pick 20 here. With the 21st pick, the Miami Dolphins will be selecting offensive tackle J.C. Latham out of Alabama. Like I said before, this pick makes a whole bunch of sense for the Miami Dolphins. We don't know if Tua is going to get that extension. Most likely he will. So why not prioritize the offensive line? They need help with this pick. Now, I know Jackson Powers Johnson was linked to go here, but if not available, you have to take one of these tackles in this draft. There's no ifs or buts about it. You have Tua, who does do a pretty solid job of getting the ball out quick, but there are times where he does hold on to the ball too long and he doesn't get the ball out and he gets sacked. He has taken some hits now. So if you're the Miami Dolphins, you have to prioritize that. Tua is your, I don't know if he's a franchise quarterback. I don't think he is. Apparently they think he is. But what I'm saying is, if you think he's your franchise guy going forward, you have to protect him at all costs. Period. There's no ifs or buts about it. J.C. Latham to the Miami Dolphins here at pick 21. I think it makes a whole bunch of sense. They would be making a big mistake by not taking a tackle here at the 21st overall pick. With the 22nd overall pick, the Philadelphia Eagles will be selecting cornerback Nate Wiggins out of Clemson. Like I've been saying, the Eagles need help in the back end of that defense. I mean, if you go back to last year, really after that 49ers game, they got burnt. Really after that game, they got burnt. And they have not recovered since that game. Their defense has been atrocious. I think Nate Wiggins comes in here, given the type of year he had at Clemson, I think he comes in here and turns that defense around immediately. Now, I don't know if it's going to result in a Super Bowl, okay, but Nate Wiggins here makes that defense even better. Given his size, he's quick, all that stuff. I think it just makes perfect sense for the Philadelphia Eagles to go cornerback here, as they do need help tremendously in the back end of that defense. With the 23rd overall pick, the Minnesota Vikings will be getting their guy, quarterback Michael Penix Jr. out of Washington. Now, this pick makes a lot of sense because you just lost on Kirk Cousins, okay? Sam Darnold is there at quarterback, but he's not no starter, okay? Let's be real here. Michael Penix Jr., I get that he has his fair of injuries in college, but this dude has a cannon arm. He's left-handed. I think he fits in tremendously with the Minnesota Vikings as they are looking for their guy. Now, there's rumors about them trading up to get their guy maybe at pick 3, maybe pick 5. But like Michael Penix Jr., I think you can get him in the later stages of the first round, maybe even second round. So if you're the Vikings at this pick, if you're trying to go quarterback here, why not go with a guy like Michael Penix Jr., who I think fits in well with the Vikings, and obviously I think he can start right away if he's picked there at Minnesota. So I like this pick for the Vikings here, pick 23. With the 24th overall pick, the Dallas Cowboys will be selecting center Zach Frazier out of West Virginia. This pick makes a whole bunch of sense here. I mean, if you're the Dallas Cowboys right now, you just lost Tyler Biadasz, center, last year, who was the center for the Cowboys. So you have to address that position if you're the Dallas Cowboys. Like I said, they don't really, if you look at their overall weaknesses, they did lose some guys in free agency, but their offense, they don't really have a weakness offensively. I mean, if you really look, they just need to address the center position, a guy that can protect Dak Prescott, obviously a guy that got a long-term contract. You have to protect him at all costs. So I think this dude is a sleeper. I know some people have had him going in the first round. I think he does deserve to go in the first round, as he is second best behind Jackson Powers Johnson, who originally in my first or second mock draft, I did have Jackson Powers Johnson going here, but I think he goes a little bit earlier. So you're the Cowboys. You go with plan B. Zach Frazier here at pick 24 makes a whole bunch of sense here, in my opinion. With the 25th overall pick, the Green Bay Packers will be selecting offense tackle Marius Mims out of Georgia. This pick makes a lot of sense, in my opinion. Like I said, look at the year Jordan Love had last year. Had a really, really solid year. I think if you continue to build the offensive line here for the Green Bay Packers, I mean, this team could be a Super Bowl contender next year. I mean, like I said, they were toe-to-toe with the 49ers in last year's playoffs in the divisional round. They just couldn't make enough plays on offense to get them over the hump there. But like I said, you can go offense tackle here, you can go safety here. Whichever one you go is a win-win for the Packers because they do need help on the back end and they do need help on the offensive line. But I think Amarius Mims, he has the size, 6'7", 6'8", just physical, just aggressive guy who I think he will help Jordan Love tremendously on that side. So I love this pick for the Green Bay Packers here at pick 25. Amarius Mims to the Green Bay Packers here at pick 25. It just makes a lot of sense here to continue to protect Jordan Love, as I think he will continue to progress here throughout his NFL career. With the 26th overall pick, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will be selecting edge rusher Laiatu Latu out of UCLA. I think this pick just makes a whole bunch of sense. Like I said, this dude had medically retired in college, and he had a really bounce back year last year. I think if he continues to stay healthy, and a lot of people had him dropping in the draft, which I think he does have a chance to drop, just like I said, given his medical history. I think if Tampa Bay, if he's available here at this pick, I think Tampa Bay, you have to take advantage of it, in my opinion. It just makes a whole bunch of sense to take him at pick 26 here, which I think, like I said, you're pretty much set on offense. You got Baker Mayfield resigned. You got Mike Evans resigned, all that stuff. Now you get an edge rusher like Laiatu Latu on that defense. I think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, like I said, they're in the mix to win that division again next year. So look out for Laiatu Latu with this pick. It would not surprise me if he dropped here with this pick or even farther down in the first round. With the 27th overall pick, the Arizona Cardinals will be selecting defense tackle Jerzon Newton out of Illinois. I mean, the Arizona Cardinals need help tremendously on that side of the ball. They need help. I mean, they were ranked towards the bottom of the league in pass rush, like I said, with the Los Angeles Rams. They couldn't really get to the quarterback efficiently last year, so why not bring a guy in like a Jerzon Newton who can get to the quarterback efficiently, very disruptive on that side. He had a pretty solid career at Illinois. You know, the Arizona Cardinals, I believe, are going in the right direction. You got Marvin Harrison Jr. with that 4th overall pick, and then you go more towards the defensive side later on in the draft here. I think it makes perfect sense. I think he makes that Cardinals defense that much better, that much more improved, and they have a chance to, in my opinion, they really have a chance to make the playoffs next year if they continue to get the right guys for their team to be successful here. So I like this pick for the Cardinals at pick 27. With the 28th overall pick, the Buffalo Bills will be selecting wide receiver A.D. Mitchell out of Texas. Like I said before, the Buffalo Bills need help with the wide receiver position. They did struggle last year. You know, Stephon Diggs, I'm mainly talking about here, had a pretty solid first 4 or 5 games this season, then went MIA the rest of the season. They just didn't get enough production on that side of the ball. You lost Gabe Davis to the Jags in free agency, so why not cover the wide receiver position here? I think A.D. Mitchell here makes perfect sense for the Buffalo Bills. I think he makes perfect sense for a Josh Allen-led offense. I think him and Josh Allen, they continue to get together, work together, and try to get them on the right page and stuff like that going into the 2024 season. Like I said, I think this is a tremendous upgrade, in my opinion. Assuming Stephon Diggs stays there, I know there's a lot of drama with him going on social media and all that stuff, but assuming if Stephon Diggs stays, you get a guy like A.D. Mitchell. Now Stephon Diggs doesn't have to worry about getting double teamed here and there. Now you have to worry about A.D. Mitchell on the other side of the ball there. So on the other side of the line of scrimmage there. So this pick makes a lot of sense for the Buffalo Bills at pick 28. With the 29th overall pick, the Detroit Lions will be selecting edge rusher Chop Robinson out of Penn State. Like I said before, the Detroit Lions defense struggled miserably last year. They couldn't get to the quarterback. I mean, the offense was able to offset the defense because, like I said, the offense was able to do their part consistently every week, but their defense wasn't able to get it done when it mattered in terms of trying to get the opposing offense off the field. So why not get a guy like Chop Robinson out of Penn State who, like I said, who's efficient at getting to the quarterback, You have to put a lot of attention. He kind of reminds me a little bit of Aaron Donald a little bit. And I'm not saying he's Aaron Donald, okay? But if you watch his highlights in college, you have to double team this guy because he's good at twisting, all that stuff. He's good at getting to the quarterback efficiently. So you have to put all your attention on him. You may have to even triple team this guy. He has the size. He has, I believe, what it takes to play in the NFL here. And I think this dude is a sleeper. A lot of people don't even have him in the first round. I think this dude is a first round caliber player. And I think this pick makes a lot of sense for the Lions, as they do need help tremendously on the defensive side of the ball, especially at edge rusher. So this pick makes a lot of sense for them at pick 29. With the 30th overall pick, the Baltimore Ravens will be selecting wide receiver Ladd McConkey out of Georgia. Now, this pick, in my opinion, makes a lot of sense because if you think about it, you just lost Odell Beckham Jr. to free agency. Now, I know he's not the same player like he was with the Giants. We all know this, okay? But you did lose him in free agency. So why not get a guy like Ladd McConkey, who had a pretty solid year at Georgia? He has hands. If you watch his highlights, this dude has hands, and he's able to extend and make plays after the catch. I think this pick makes a lot of sense. Lamar Jackson, it gives him another weapon to rely upon down the field. And like I said, I think he fits in well with this Ravens offense. You could go edge rusher here. You could go offensive tackle here. But if you're looking to stay competitive in the AFC, which they have been for a while, you had pretty disappointing end to the season last year by losing to the Chiefs. You couldn't get the offense going. Why not continue to add to the offense by getting a guy like him with this pick at pick 30? I just think it makes sense. If you want to compete and beat the Chiefs, then you have to continue to get production on the offense. So this pick makes a lot of sense. Ladd McConkey to the Baltimore Ravens at pick 30. With the 31st overall pick, the San Francisco 49ers will be selecting cornerback Kool-Aid McKinstry out of Alabama. I think this pick makes just a ton of sense for the 49ers. I mean, Kool-Aid McKinstry, if you watch my first mock draft that I've made, he was up there in terms of the draft boards. Now, he's fallen a lot. I know he's dealing with a foot fracture and all that stuff, so he's definitely fallen in a lot of people's draft boards, but this dude is, in my opinion, is a first-round player. The 49ers need help in the back end. I think he looks like a 49er, in my opinion. I think he fits in to what they want to do on that side. You could go offensive tackle here with the 49ers, as they do need a little bit of help on that side, but I think, the cornerback is their major need in the draft here. So Kool-Aid McKinstry, if he's available, I don't see why you don't take him with this pick. 49ers, Kool-Aid McKinstry to the 49ers at pick 31. And with the last pick of the first round, your two-time Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs will be selecting offense tackle Tyler Guyton out of Oklahoma. Now, I decided to go in a different direction here with this pick. Originally, in my last mock draft, I had the Chiefs taking a wide receiver, Xavier Worthy. But like I said before, the most important thing is Patrick Mahomes is still your quarterback, right? So, like I said, you got to be able to protect him at all costs. So why not get a guy like Tyler Guyton, who's 6'7", who is a bit raw, but those things can be fixed. And I think he's in the right situation here with the Kansas City Chiefs with this pick. You're playing alongside Patrick Mahomes on the offensive line, right? You're protecting him and all that stuff. I think Tyler Guyton will be motivated to come here and try to protect their franchise quarterback. I guess people are saying he has a chance to be the next Tom Brady, given if he wins the Super Bowl next year, who knows? But Tyler Guyton here, like I said, has the size, has the skill set. Like I said, he's a bit raw, but like I said, those things are fixable. I think he's in the right situation here with the Kansas City Chiefs, assuming if they want to go here. You could go edge rusher here for the Chiefs, as you can get a guy like Darius Robinson, I believe that's his name, from Missouri, to improve the defense a little bit. But I think their defense is already solid, so I think they just go offensive line here just to give more protection for Patrick Mahomes here. So I like this pick for the Kansas City Chiefs. I picked 32. And that wraps up this video. That is my NFL Mock Draft 4.0. Comment your thoughts below. Like, share, subscribe. I want to thank everyone for tuning into the channel here as I continue to put out content weekly. I'm going to be going live tomorrow with Dan Talk Sports to talk more mock draft, compare mock drafts and all that stuff. So tune into that. Like I said, thank you guys again. Without you guys, this wouldn't be possible. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.